Hi guys, my name is Saikran and welcome to my YouTube channel, the AR Gear Guy. In this video, I am going to show you the entire end-to-end process of setting up Quest Pro and Quest 2 for virtual reality development in Unity 3D. This is the only video that you need to watch in order to understand how to create a meta developer account, how to set up the hardware, how to import the Oculus integration SDK into Unity and all that. So let's get started. So first of all, before going there, I have created a checklist for you to go through before getting started. And in that checklist, the first thing is creating a meta account. So meta account is a developer account which will enable you to develop applications and games for meta headsets like Meta Quest, Quest 2, Quest Pro, and what are the upcoming headsets. So in order to create a meta account, you can either create the account using your Facebook account or Instagram, or you can set up your account with your own email address. Let's click on setup account with email address. So here it's giving us two options. I have VR apps and I don't have VR apps. So if you are someone who has already been into VR and you have made some progress in terms of playing a lot of games or a lot of applications, and if you don't want to lose that, then click on I have VR apps and go ahead and continue logging with your existing Facebook or Oculus login account login. Otherwise, you can simply click on I don't have VR apps and go ahead with your account creation. One important point to be considered while creating the account is you need to enable multi-factor authentication in order to verify your account. Otherwise, you won't be able to enable developer mode. So please keep that in mind. Okay, now the meta developer account has been created. Now let's go to the next step, which is enabling the developer mode. So there are a couple of ways through which you can enable the developer mode. So the first one is by installing this application called MetaQuest on your Android or iOS mobile, and then pairing the mobile app with your headset. And after pairing it successfully, you can go into advanced settings and then enable the developer mode. So the second method is by installing the MQDH. So MQDH stands for MetaQuest Developer Hub. So with this application on the PC, I think it can also support Mac, but not sure. So with this Quest Developer Hub, other than just being able to enabling the developer mode, you can also manage the device, and you can also sideload the APKs, and you can also toggle proximity sensors and enable or disable the Guardian, all that stuff. Okay, let's take a quick look at MetaQuest Developer Hub. Let's click on continue. So here you have to log in with the Meta developer account that we have just previously created. So let's click on login with the Meta account. It will take you to the link to the browser, and here since I have created with the email address, I will click on let login with email address. Here I will have to key in my credentials. Mine is already there, and click on login. It will redirect us back to the application. Okay, so as I already told you, we have to enable the multi-factor authentication. So now I will be getting a code at which I have to input there. So now we are logged into your Meta developer account. Let's continue as SOI, and it will prompt us to open the application. Click on open, and it will redirect us to the MetaQuest developer hub. So here you can click on continue, and you can click on a device manager, and here you need to connect the MetaQuest Pro or Quest 2 or whatever the asset that we have through a link compatible cable with your PC. Yeah. So once you have connected the headset to the PC, you will get a prompt inside the VR headset asking you to click on allow. So you'll be getting an USB prompt and also USB debugging prompt. You have to click on allow for both of them. And it might ask you for multiple times, and you have to click on allow for every time we have beats. Okay. As you can see now, here we have all the details of the device. Now I can unmount this. So this is what I was talking about. So this is the headset that is connected to the device, and here you can sideload all the APKs that you have built, similar to SideQuest. And here you can toggle the proximity sensor. For the development purposes, I would suggest you to toggle the proximity sensor, because every time you remove the headset will go to sleep mode after a few seconds, which is not the expected behavior while developing. And also we can disable the guardian while developing. And you can also analyze all the performance graphs and all that is explained, and you can also access the memory. All right, now that we have successfully connected the Quest Pro with MetaQuest Developer Hub, let's get to the next point in our checklist, which is enabling the Quest link. So before getting there, you need to understand what Quest link is all about. Before previously, Quest link was called Oculus link. Quest link or Oculus link is nothing but a piece of software that integrates all the MetaQuest devices like Quest, Quest2 or Quest Pro. Basically, what it does is it basically integrates the Quest devices with the PCs and offload all the processing power to the PC. So in other words, it basically transforms your standalone headset, which is Quest 2 or Quest, or for that matter Quest Pro, into a PC-based VR, wherein all the processing power and all the ability that it takes to render the graphics will be offloaded to PC rather than processing it all in the headset itself. So in order to enable that, you need to install, as I told you, you need to install a piece of software which is called Quest Link, and you can find the software here. And I'll make sure I'll attach all the links to that, whatever softwares and downloads that I have mentioned in the description, so don't worry. So they don't have an official piece of software for Quest Pro listed on their website, but since I'm using Quest Pro, I can assure you that this particular software works with Quest Pro 2 as well. One of the most important points to be remembered is whatever the cable that is shipped with Quest 2 or Quest Pro is not a link compatible cable. So even though if you install the particular software, even if your system supports it, you might end up not using it because of the cable. So make sure you buy a link compatible cable, which Meta sells on the website, but it's on the costlier end. You can also find a lot of alternate cables, link compatible cables on Amazon. I also attach the links to those cables. And make sure your PC supports the particular software that you're going to install, which is Quest. So you need minimum of Intel i5, or if you're using AMD, you need a Ryzen 1500. And one interesting thing about GPUs is NVIDIA GTX 1650 is not supported. So one of my laptops that I was working on has 1650. So I wasted my entire day figuring out what's the problem. So make sure your PC meets the requirement. And also one of the most important point in terms of installing the link software is it will be very handy in terms of development, because when you are developing Unity 3D, there is no need for you to build for every iteration that you do. You can just click on the play, and you can use the headset connected to your PC in play mode, and you can do all the testings there. And you can also do it wirelessly. You can also wirelessly use the link cable with better Wi-Fi connection, but we're not going there. For this video, we're sticking to the link cable. Okay, now that we have figured out all the prerequisites for us to start the development in Unity, like creating a Meta account, enabling a developer account, setting up the Quest, and making sure the device is connected to MetaQuest Developer Hub, let's get into the development part of it by starting with Unity. So I would suggest using Unity 2021 LTS versions. And before starting, instead of going and creating with the 3D template, I would suggest you to go and start with the 3D URP, which stands for Universal Render Pipeline, which is a pretty good render pipeline for developing for standalone headsets. And let's name it sample project and click on create. Okay, after a bit of loading, Unity has created a project for us. So first thing to do is go to build settings. So you can go to file, build settings, or click on, and go to file, build settings, or click on the shortcut Control Shift B, which will open the build settings, and you need to switch to Android platform because all the Quest devices is based on Android OS. So let me quickly change it to the Android platform. Let it compile. Changing the texture conversion to ASCII. And so I will be giving a link to the detailed article from Meta explaining all the settings to be assigned and all the SDKs to be installed, what are the SDKs to be installed, and how to get it installed. And so basically, I'm taking you through the article right now in terms of inside the Unity. You can also read that article for better understanding. Okay, it's done. Now, if you want to resolve this, you can quickly go to player settings and go to other settings and okay. So the reason why it is showing the error is since we have selected the linear color space is not supported in OpenGL ESC2. So you need to remove it to get rid of the error. Okay. So now we need to install a SDK called Oculus integration from Meta. So for that, you can go to your asset store and quickly add there. Otherwise, you can also download it through the package manager of Unity. So you can do it either way. You can open in Unity and it will redirect you to package in Unity. Let it load. Since I have already installed this, it's asking me to input. Otherwise, you'll be having a download option. Or if there's any update, it will ask you to update. Okay, it has been loaded and you can see all the content of the Oculus integration package here. All you have to do is click on the import and let the Unity do the work. Alright, now the SDK has already been imported and now it is asking us to update the Oculus Utilities plugin. Click on Adds. And you can click on Use OpenXR. Click on OK. So other than using Oculus integration, you can also use XR Toolkit. Now it is asking us to restart because there has been an update. But for the time being, you can click on Not Now because anyway, going forward, you have to restart it. You can say no, but you can also click on Show Assets and click those in a package. After the cleanup, I think it will ask for another update, I guess. Click on Upgrade. And now we can restart the Unity. So the Unity will restart in a bit, and from there we will install XR management, and then we are good to go. The Unity has restarted now, and now it's time to close this window and let's go back to the settings, player settings, and here we create all the basic Unity stuff and make sure multi-threaded rendering is enabled and static batching and compute string is enabled, and you can also change the texture format to ASTC here, but I'm not going to do right now because it will take some time and I don't have that much of patience. And you have, and the minimum API level should be Android 10 or API level 29, and you should leave these services, and also you should change the scripting backend to IL to CPP. But if we okay, fine. And as you can see here, it's showing some error because IL to CPP basically means intermediate language to C++, and it doesn't support ARM v7. 64 will be supported, and so I think I have covered most of the settings in terms of player settings. Now let's go to package manager. Sorry, not the package. Let's go to edit, product settings, and extra plugin management, and click on install extra plugin management. Okay, the extra plugin management has been installed, and you can enable Oculus here for the Android platform, and you can also enable Oculus on the standard platform on the Windows platform. When you are building for Quest Pro, it's always good to enable Oculus in Windows platform too, because it will help us in viewing the scene in the PA mode rather than building it for every iteration. Enable the Oculus, the Windows. Okay, now head back to this player settings. Not the player settings, for the build settings. So one more important thing is if everything is done right, and if everything is done right in terms of if everything is done right, like the developer account, enabling the developer mode, MetaQuest developer hub and also the Quest link, you should be able to see the prompts inside the VR headset. And once after enabling it, you should be able to see the device here. Okay, I think for some reason it's not showing here. Okay, wait. Shit. Oh, yeah, I got it. We have to restart the Unity editor in order to get it here. So let me restart it. Okay, the part is reloaded. If I'm not wrong, I should be able to see the device here. All right. As I told you, sometimes, restarting solves the issue. Okay. As in, all right. Now let's get started with optimizing the settings for Quest 2 or Quest Pro. So the first thing is going into the quality settings by going into projects and selecting the voice quality. And since you are targeting standalone headsets, it's better to select the balance preset. And in here, you need to tweak some settings, and the first one being the V-sync count. You don't need that, and delay goes down. So all these settings are based on the article that I have mentioned to you. Here we can change this to warm. Hill system, melody verse, Sharmas. Okay. I think this looks good. Now go to settings and copy based render. You don't need post-processing in virtual reality because it's highly processing intensive, and you also don't need screen space ambient occlusion, so disable that. Before we film now, it's good. Now let's go to URP balance settings, and here I don't need terrain goals, we don't need HDR, and so this setting is really important because when you are in virtual reality, you look at 3D models or all the environment very closely. So even the little distortions matter. So anti-aliasing is a technique where whenever rendering is happening, there will be some jagged edges in terms of 3D look. In terms of look of some 3D models, there'll be jagged edges at the corners of the 3D models. So in order to smoothen it, you can select it, but make sure you select 4x and not overdo it, because otherwise it will again affect your performance. Everything looks good, and you don't need sharp shadows for the same reason that this process intensive. And now let's go to product settings and graphics. Make sure you select the right icon there, because otherwise all the changes that you have done doesn't make sense if you have not mapped the right asset here. Because right now this particular asset has been mapped to this, which is URP high fidelity, but we need to map this, which is the balanced one, and click on continue. Alright, everything looks good. Okay, in case if you're not able to render all the materials, if the Unity is showing purple and pink everywhere, don't worry. It's just because Oculus integration is based on built-in render pipeline or legacy shaders. So all you have to do is go into Window and render pipeline converter, and from the drop down select built-in to URP. What it does is basically converts all the shaders from built-in render pipeline to universal raster pipeline. And you have to click on material upgrades, and you have to click on initialize converters. So what it does is it relies on all the materials that you have in the project in the legacy shader, and by default all the materials are selected, and you can click on the convert assets and do it sometime, and everything will be all right. So this is the entire end-to-end process of setting up a Quest Pro or Quest 2 for VR development in Unity 3D. If you have any doubts or any ambiguity in terms of setting up the hardware or any part of this video, please write down the comment in the comment section, and I'll make sure to reply to you. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you think I have added little value here, please like and subscribe. Bye bye.